So I missed out on Classic. I didn't mean to do it. I mean, I talked about it on this channel for a long time. I was totally all about it, but then life happened. I stopped making content for 4 years. Came back and made, half of my audience feel alienated and angry. So, what are you going to do? People change, folks, all right? There's things that just take priority in your life. Anyways, I missed that train. And I watched a video from Pint, 10,000 Hours of Mage, which is hilarious because, man, it just took me back to my TBC days. Instantly, I was like, wow, I didn't realize how much nostalgia I have for World of Warcraft. Everything is EverQuest Online Adventures, EverQuest Online Adventures, EverQuest Online Adventures. And then I watched this video and it's like, dude, PvP and TBC, dude, yeah, my mage, my rogue, both of those elements. I used to do that in Stranglethorn Vale. I used to play BGs on my mage. I used to play Frost Mage just like that. It was amazing. And I was thinking, maybe I can hop in. Maybe I can give it a shot. It's, the servers are probably a ghost town, but I'll make my way through Classic, and then I'll get my Vanilla WoW, and then I'll get myself up into TBC and eventually, Wrath. And it's already starting to have issues. It's had issues for a while, I guess. And I'm not like a World of Warcraft pro. It's been a long time since I've Battle for Azeroth is when I quit, and I wasn't hardcore since way before that. So it's one of those things. GDKP happened, bots. I'm going to put something on your screen, and I don't want you guys to get triggered and run away. I'm not going to hit you over the head with a Bible or anything here, but I just find it interesting what this fella says and how it works. It's like God baked this into life, and you can't take it out of even World of Warcraft. So you got the devs. They know that the botting's going on, right? And they're just kind of, whatever. I'm not going to fix that. We got Dragonflight. We got things going on. They're paying us anyway, so they look the other way. The players, they know it's damaging the economy. They don't care. It's kind of late in the game anyway. I just want to get my gear. They look the other way. But in the long term, there's a lot of damage being gathered up onto the server. It's one of those things. And if somebody like me wants to come in, all of a sudden it's just not that palatable. I'm like, yeah, maybe not. Maybe I'm not going to do that. And then I saw that they're bringing the raid finder or the dungeon finder in now. Well, people really want to get it done. I don't know if it's official, but they really want it in there, and they want it going all the way back to vanilla. And it's like, no, dude. Now I understand that, and I don't want anybody to get mad at me that's playing WoW, because you could totally say you're not even playing it. Shut up. Fair enough, right? You're in a place where you're ready for that. Cool. But the way that I played EQOA, the way that my wife played EQOA, it was all about the world and exploring the world. And when she came in with Mist of Pandaria, and she didn't know where she was. She had no clue. When she queued into a dungeon, I'm getting ahead of myself. She would go into a dungeon with me, and she's like, "This is beautiful, but where am I?" Like in EverQuest, I know I had to go through, I had to pass through Kinos Hills, and then I got to Blackburrow, and I know where I was, and I know why it's here, and understand. She was completely disconnected. She couldn't read the story, first of all, because they were zerging her through the story, and then they kicked her for not being twinked, and that was harsh. And what made that really harsh, and this is going to get a little deep, and I don't want to upset her, just talking about this because it's personal. She was going through cancer treatment at the time, and it was one of those things that's really hard on a woman, okay? And they told her she was useless, and they kicked her. And when I went out to say, hey, don't worry about those guys, there's a lot of people who just don't get it, they don't care about them. She was sobbing bitterly, guys. She just went through something traumatizing in her life, and then people in the game told her, you're useless. And it hit really hard when it shouldn't have. Okay? And I was thinking, well, maybe I can just take her back to Classic, and we'll go through it. People will be chill. We don't have to deal. No. We can't do that. All right? And it's really sad because we started off in Thunder Bluff, and she was loving her time. She was playing a druid. She really loved it. It reminded her of the old days. She had that old magic rekindled. Oh, I'm in a new world. It's wide open. There's no loading. Like, this is what I loved about EverQuest Online Adventures. There was no loading between the zones like EverQuest 1 on PC and EverQuest 2, which they felt so different. This felt actually somehow closer to EQOA to us. And then she got into the dungeon party, and that was it, man. She quit. She was out. She quit World of Warcraft. She never went back. Completely destroyed it for her. And she played, I don't know, like a month or two and was loving it up to that point. But the community, it was just... And the timing with what was going on in her life, it was a critical hit, dude. And she was out. And I wanted to bring her into it now, and it's like, I can't do that. This GDKP thing. And, you know, the whole fact that, well, the problem that I had with Mr. Pandaria, she's not going to know where she is. She's just queuing into an instance. It's so impersonal. She doesn't, you know, I mean, the fact that you had to, like, cross vast distances, I know it's a pain in the butt for people. You know, if you wanted to get into every dungeon, sometimes you had to really go far. And you had to deal, if you were on a PvP server, you had to deal with all of that. But, man, you know, that's what really made it special. People don't seem to agree with that anymore. They're like, yeah... Well, I mean, we did that, and now we're done with it, so now let's just turn it into all fast-track stuff. Because the servers are dead anyway, right? So I don't think there's a solution to this. I'm not here to tell you you're wrong. I'm not here to be like, that this doesn't work. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to hear it anyways. But we are in a completely different time, guys, where the modern conveniences and just the way that people think after having done the content, it's impossible to get back to that point. And I do think that there have been some people who think that they do and they don't. But I don't know if that's entirely what this is, right? Because people, like I said, they've already done it. It's whatever. But for the people who have already done it, they don't seem to care about the fraction of people who haven't. And maybe it's not even a fraction. Maybe there's a decent amount of people who do load in a classic and they look around and it's a ghost town and they're out. Or, you know, I don't know. This is something that I don't think you can really solve it. It just goes to show you that what happened to World of Warcraft, what happened to EverQuest before that, the expansions went on, people lost interest, the game and what it really originally meant started to get so watered down and everybody just moved away from it, which is kind of natural. It's just something that you can't stop. Even looking at Classic now, it's facing a death. It's like, you know, I don't know how long it'll last. I think after Wrath of the Lich King, I think people are really going to hang it up. Because for a lot of people, that's where it peaked, and that was it. They reached like 12 million concurrent subs. After that, it was just Cataclysm made the critical error of messing with people's nostalgic memories and altering the zone. Bad idea. It just, yeah, but this is one of those things, you know. It's kind of heavy because I'm talking about something that's so personal to us, but it's a bummer. And this is something that reflects on our server that's being worked on now. Because there's people who want to, you know, they want to kind of casualize that server and they want to have it so you level up much faster, you run much faster, the drop percentages are better, and I'm fighting against it, man. And I think it's going to be a losing battle because I'm seeing what happened with WoW. And I'm looking down the road and that's exactly what's headed our way. When our server's finally up, God willing, and everything is running, there's going to be a pretty large amount of people who are like, yeah, do we really need this? Do we really need that? And yeah, little old me going, no, playing the role of the purist. And people call me gatekeeper, whatever. I like things to be pure the way they were meant to be so I can get that original experience. And you know, I don't mean to trigger people when I talk about this stuff, but let me know what you guys think about it down in the comment section below. If it's your first time through here and you like what you see, make sure you subscribe. I thank you all for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in my next video.